Good morning, everyone. It's Sunday morning. There's a gnat. Let's do a verse. Let's see here. Matthew 14:33. Then they that were in the ship came and worshipped him, saying, Of a truth, thou art the Son of God. Now this happened just after Jesus sent away the people and told the apostles, go ahead and get in the boat and go across the sea to the other side. Jesus was praying on the top of a mountain, and then the wind started to blow and the waves started to crash, and it doesn't say, but I imagine the apostles were getting a little worried because Jesus wasn't with them. And a time before, he had silenced the waves in the sea. Everything had just been quiet. He had saved them. So the boat's starting to be tossed around. And then they look out. And there's Jesus walking on the water. Walking on the water. Now this is Old Testament times. The reason I point out Old Testament times is there's technology now where people can walk on water as Jesus did. I remember reading about it a couple of years ago. Jesus walked on the water. With nothing but his spirit. He was literally standing in the water. And the waves were crashing, the wind was blowing. And he walks up to the boat, and the apostles were afraid. They thought he was a spirit. But then he spoke to them. And they're like, oh my gosh, it's Jesus. Well, if you really are Jesus, as Peter said, call me to come to you. And Jesus said, come. So Peter walks out onto the water. And he's walking in Jesus, but he does what all of us do and have done. He begins to doubt and fear. He sees all the stuff around him that could destroy him. He looks at the waves crashing and the wind blowing and the darkness and the lightning, and he starts to be afraid. Even though he knows that Jesus is literally right in front of him. We do the same thing. We're walking upon the path that God has directed for us, and everything is okay because God is with us. But then we start looking off of the path at all of the destruction around us. And we begin to doubt and fear. And so through Peter's doubt and fear, he begins to sink. And he calls to Jesus, please save me. And immediately Jesus grabs him and pulls him up out of the water. And then they went back into the boat. Then they that were in the ship came and worshipped him, saying, Of a truth, thou art the Son of God. Here's the kicker to that statement. Jesus had already performed so many miracles. At this point, Jesus had already fed thousands of people on but a handful of food. Jesus had already healed the sick, allowed the lame to walk, brought vision to the blind. The disciples many times before had realized that Jesus is in fact the Son of God, and yet from one miracle to the next, they would begin to doubt. They would begin to fear. They would begin to convince themselves otherwise. And then another miracle would happen. They'd be like, for truth, you are the Son of God. Even though they had thought it in their hearts many times before, even though they had known many times before, even though Jesus himself had declared it many times before, they continued to doubt and fear. In fact, upon his death, they had convinced themselves. They had convinced themselves that he wasn't. And then his resurrection, they had hoped. But upon his resurrection, then they knew it was all true. Isn't that what we're doing now? Don't we believe with every step that we take, every amazing thing that God does for us, every truth, every time he delivers us, don't we believe that he's with us? But then every time it gets hard again, or time passes and we struggle, don't we start to think otherwise? Many of us. Don't we start to question and doubt? Even believing, don't we start to question? Don't we start to chalk up miracles as being coincidence? Answered prayers as being luck? Don't we do that? We do. Not just me, not just you, all of us. As believers and followers in Jesus, we all let doubt in from time to time. Some of us more than others. There are many that through doubt turn away completely from Jesus and walk away. Don't let that happen. Don't let doubt in. Don't let Satan in, because Satan wants you to doubt and fear and turn away. Fellowship with the Lord. Pray, read your Bible, pay attention to the glory of God. For of a truth, Jesus is the Son of God. And he died for you and me. God bless.